There you go.
All right, we're on with Karl Moore. Please raise your hand if you have a question. Let's kick it off with Anik.
Karl, nice to meet you. It's a hometown fight. I'm wondering, what's the party going to look like in Ireland if you win this fight?
It's nice to meet you too, mate. The party in Ireland, especially Belfast, I said it'll be a bit crazy. I think I'll just go home after the fight and hide for a couple of days because Belfast will be nuts.
Awesome. And one more from me. You train at the famous SBG Ireland. I'm wondering, do you see Connor there a lot lately? And when are we going to get his fight announced?
I have no idea, mate. Connor would be in the gym right and regular. You'd see him the odd time, but I know as much about Connor as the next guy, which is very little. I don't know when Connor will be back. Hopefully he's back soon.
Awesome. Thank you very much and best of luck.
No problem, mate. Thank you very much.
Keelan McNamara.
Karl, very good afternoon, mate. It's great to have you back home. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you, Keelan?
I am very good, thanks, Karl. I've just got a
Good.
couple of questions for you, and then I'll obviously hand it over to everybody else. First question, Karl, is you're obviously on the precipice of achieving something great, but you've got a really tough opponent, obviously, in Corey Anderson. What does the path to victory on Friday night look like for you? Because Corey's, really tough fighter, very well-rounded. What do you see being the edge that you have that can make the difference in this fight?
A couple of different things, Keenan. I don't want to give too much away, but I think the fact that I'm not as well known as Corey, there's not as much footage on him as there is with me. Like you said, Corey's a really good guy, he's really tough, he's really well rounded. But I think stylistically and what I bring to the table, I can be a real big problem for Corey.
That's a very good point, actually. And the second question that I have is obviously with Irish MMA, you'll know yourself being from here. We're going through a real good sort of second generation of mainstream Irish MMA fighters at the moment. And we have championship holders like Paul Hughes and Cage Warriors who's doing really well at this point. Have you thought about, I know obviously your mind at the moment's on Corey and Friday night, but if you win and you become the new champion, have you thought about the legacy and the impact that might have here in Ireland for this next generation and this next wave of Irish talent that's coming through?
Yes or no. I mean, I don't think into it too much because that's when you put extra pressure on yourself. But I think to even be considered as a guy that's paving the way, or even to leave some kind of legacy for the next guys coming through to look forward to, it's nice. It's like a humbling thing knowing that I can be at that level where there's going to be guys coming through. They'll be looking at me going, I want to be like him, or I want to be better than him, or I want to do what he's doing. So, yeah, it's something I'm very proud of. Yeah,
That's all I had, Karl. Thanks so much for the time, mate, and very best of luck Friday night.
no problem, Ken. Thank you very much.
Next question, Mike Pendleton.
Hey, Carl, just you kind of already elaborated on this, but when you're facing a guy like Corey Anderson and you represent not only Irish MMA, but kind of this new wave in the division, what does not the party look like, the fight look like, but what do the next 5 fights look like when you get that belt wrapped around your waist?
Ideally, mate, the next 5 fights would be win this belt. There's a Dublin card in June, I think, or Paris. So maybe defend the belt on one of those 2 shows. And I think belts will have shows set up all throughout the year. So, yeah, fight maybe 4 or 5 times this year, defend the belt every time, and then see where we go from there. But the thing is, win the belt and then defend it as many times as possible throughout the year.
And what does this mean for your legacy? Obviously, it's been brought up throughout the day, the legacy of Irish fighters, obviously fighting in Belfast this weekend. But to etch your name in stone among some of the very best who have held world titles at the highest level, what would it personally mean to you?
It's everything, mate. I mean, this is why I get into MMA. I didn't get into MMA to be mediocre or to be average. I get in to be the best in the world, or to be one of the best in the world. And like you said, when I win this belt on Friday, it's something that can never be taken away. I'll be the first guy from Ireland, Northern Ireland and Ireland, to win a Bellator world title. And that's something that can never be taken away because in Belfast, we've had so many world champion boxers. There's never been a world champion MMA fighter. And I plan to be the first guy to do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dylan Rush.
Hey Carl, how you doing, man?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, man. Your SBG Ireland teammate Kieran Clark seems to feel like there's more pressure when fighting on Irish soil with all the supporters, friends, family in the crowd. Would you say there's more or less pressure fighting in Belfast?
Either or, mate. I mean, because every fight you've got pressure. I mean, the outside factors, they don't matter. It's how you deal with them. Do you know what I mean? It's the fact of fighting in Belfast. Yes, it's amazing, but if you let that get to you, then it becomes a problem. It becomes extra pressure. But for me, it's just another fight. It's 25 minutes in there with another guy. It doesn't matter if it's in Belfast or any other part of the world. It's business. It's after, when you win the fight and all said and done, you can enjoy it, take it in. But before the fight and during the fight, I don't feel any extra pressure, mate, because I'm there to do a job and that's it. Everything else is just background noise.
Yep, definitely. You're riding a 4-fight win streak. You have all the momentum in the world, all leading you to this moment, an opportunity to become light heavyweight champion of the world. Do you feel like you've been training your whole life for this moment, for this Friday night at SSE Arena?
12, 13 years to get to here, mate. Yeah, my whole life has been dedicated to this one moment.
And of course, championship is always the goal, always the primary goal. But like you said, you've been training for 12, 13 years. What are your primary goals outside of a title? What do you want people to remember most about you, Karl Moore, whether it be inside or outside of fighting?
Just like I briefly touched on earlier, I'll be the first guy from Belfast in Ireland to win a Bellator world title. And that's the legacy I want to leave behind. Like I said, I want the guys coming through, the younger guys, to look at me and be like, if he can do it, I can do it too. Do you know what I mean? Because they'll probably grow up in the same areas I grew up in, come from the same place I came from. And they see me doing it, it's like, well, there's no reason that they can't do it if I can do it too. Do you know what I mean? That's the legacy I want to leave behind.
Definitely. That's a great sentiment, man. Good luck this Friday night.
Thank you very much.
Ken Chronicles Media.
Hey, Karl, K. Williams for Ken Chronicles Media. So without giving away the game plan, let's talk about training camp leading up into this next fight.
Training camp, as in, what would you like to know?
Just like the logistics, how do you feel in training camp? Confidence going into the next fight? Was it any different than the last training camp?
Yeah, it's a little different. It's a 5-round fight, so there's a lot more volume involved. It's a different opponent, so there's different things we'll be working on, but pretty much most fight camps are 80% the same with a few wee tweaks here and there for different opponents. Obviously, it's a 5-round fight, so like I said, there's more volume. But apart from that, pretty much straightforward. Training camp went good, no injuries, no problems. So yeah, everything's went almost picture perfect.
Good luck out there.
Thank you. Short and sweet, that one.
Harry Davies.
Hi, Karl. I just wanted to ask, lots of fighters have different outlooks on what the end goal is in fighting. Some of them, want to secure financial security for their family. Some of them just want to become a world champion. For you, what's more important, getting hands on the world title or, securing financial security, or maybe even both?
It's hard to take them apart, mate. When I get into MMA, it was never about money. It was always about just fighting. But like I said, I've been doing it for 13 years. And I started when I was 17, 18. And I'm at an age now where I have to make money. So it's the two of them are intertwined. You can't have one without the other. But for me, mate, the world title is the pinnacle. But I'm at a stage now with Bellator of giving me an opportunity that I can win a world title and provide a life for myself. Like, I don't want fancy cars, fancy clothes. Don't want to be like fancy lifestyle. I just want to have money so I could pay off the mortgage. I'm not paying a mortgage till I'm 60 or 70. And me and my partner, Christine, we can live comfortably and we're not struggling to pay bills. Do you know what I mean? That's all I want. And I've got a chance here to win a world title and set myself up for life. So I've got both, which has worked out perfect.
And just last one, forgive me if you've been asked this, but a couple of the Bellator guys I've spoken to have seemed open to potentially joining the PFL regular season format. Is that something that maybe interests you since the acquisition last November, or are you just solely focused on this fight for now?
Well, from my time with Bellator, my whole goal was to win the belt. When PFL initially did acquire Bellator, I had the option, and I just told them, no, I want to keep fighting for Bellator, get the belt, and that's it. But after this fight, after a couple of title defences, we'll see what happens. It's a possibility, but I don't know.
Thank you.
No.
Diego Laconda.
Hello, Karl.
Hello.
Thanks for being here. So, you're fighting in your home country in front of your friends and family, main event, title fight, something a few fighters can say they've gone through. So does it get any better than this?
I don't think so, mate. Like, this is from my amateur career. This is something I dreamed of doing, fighting in front of my home crowd on the biggest show in the world for a world title, and it's here, it's happening. So no, for me personally, it doesn't get no better than this.
Good. Thank you. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you very much.
Any more questions for Karl? All right, I think you're all set.
Happy days, thank God.
Thank you.